Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about software prototyping. You all might be knowing what is prototype. Prototype is a miniature or model of your actual system. So what is software prototyping? Do we develop a prototype similar to a final software? Let us see how it is done. So this prototyping method is generally a rapid development of a system. In earlier days, people think that prototype is an inferior process where the final development is the actual one, or the actual one will have the very good output. But now the boundary between prototyping and normal system has blurred, and many systems are developed using an evolutionary approach. What evolution is, we'll see in the coming slides. So what are the uses of your prototypes? The principal use is to help the customers and developers understand the requirements. So initially we don't understand what is the requirement for the system, or else there might be some confusions in the requirements. We will not have all the requirements together. Customer might be saying something, developer might be understanding it in a different way, so there might be some a misunderstanding between those two people. These things will be clearly sorted out, and there will not be any issues between customer and developer regarding requirements when prototypes are developed. So this prototype helps for requirement elicitation as well as for requirement validation. What is elicitation? Is nothing but collecting all the requirements. Validation is checking the requirements, whether there are errors or missing requirements or omissions, all those things. So prototyping could be a risk reduction activity, because any errors with respect to the requirements will be reduced by means of this prototyping. So the misunderstanding between software user and developer are exposed here. Missing services or missing requirements may be detected, and confusions in the requirements will be avoided. So we will have a working model early in the process. This prototype may serve as a basis for deriving the overall system specification, and also it helps for the training and testing process. So it improves the system usability. So a closer match to the system needed is developed. So design quality can be improved, maintainability could be improved, overall development effort is reduced. I have put a question mark over there. Why? Because is it true or not? We will see at the end whether this reduced overall development effort is true or not. So this prototyping, the software process, has two steps. One is evolutionary prototyping and another one is throwaway prototyping. Evolution, you all know when we tell about evolution, the person comes into our mind is Darwin, because he has derived the Darwin's theory of evolution. So where it shows that how a man has evolved from a monkey, all those things. Similarly, this is an approach for system development where initial prototype is produced and that is refined again and again in so many stages or iterations to evolve into a final full-fledged software. So the same prototype which was developed earlier will be refined to get the final system. That is called evolutionary prototyping. Prototype evolves into the final software. What is throwaway prototyping? This prototype, which is usually a practical implementation of system, is produced to help discover requirement problems. So it is mainly to identify the requirement problems. When all the requirements are collected and the problems in the requirements are sorted out, this prototype is thrown away, that is discarded. The system is developed using some other development process. Why? Because the errors in requirements are very crucial. There should not be any error in the requirement process. Hence, to avoid that, this throwaway prototyping is taken up. So the objective of evolution prototyping is to deliver a working system to end users. But in case of a throwaway prototyping is to validate or derive the system requirements. So that is the difference. So evolutionary prototyping is good for systems where the specification cannot be developed in advance, such as AI systems and user interface. So based on techniques that allow rapid system iteration, this is developed. So verification is impossible as there is no specification. So those are the issues. So here you could see that you develop an abstract specification, you build the prototype, you use the prototype, where you check whether your system is adequate. If not, you again go build your prototype, you check your prototype, you check whether the adequacy. After, when it becomes adequate, you deliver your system. That is your evolutionary prototyping. The same prototype evolves by means of various iterations or refinements and develops into a final system. So here specification, design, implementation, all the phases are intertwined. Everything are intertwined. They come one. It is not that one after another. They go hand in hand. So the system is developed in a series of increments. So techniques for rapid system development are used here, such as case tools, 4GLs, etc. User interfaces are usually developed using GUI development toolkit. GUI means graphical user interface toolkit. So many toolkits and tools are used here for fast development. So the advantages is you have your delivery of your system earlier. So rapid delivery of your system is possible in case of evolutionary prototyping. So you have user engagement with the system. Users users go hand in hand with the developers, because developer check the system again and again with the users. So user engagement with the system is more here. So the problems are the management problems. So say here, if you have any issues, you cannot correct it, because you cannot at the starting stage itself predict whatever you need, your skill sets or the models or the technology what you want to build, the database you want to build, everything cannot be decided at the starting. Since it is a rapid model, you choose anything is easier for you which may not suit for your software project which you are developing. Again, maintenance problem is there. So there will be many continuous changes needed. So maintenance is expensive here, and also there are chances for contractual problems. So prototypes could be as a specification. Some parts of requirements may be impossible to prototype, such as safety critical functions which cannot be prototyped. Only the final system will have those those functions. So they don't appear in the specification. Hence prototypes cannot be used as a specification. So it is an implementation, has no legal standing as a contract. So similarly, non-functional requirements cannot be tested using a prototype, because prototype cannot be, because it is a model. So it cannot be used for checking your non-functional requirements. Only functional requirements could be tested. Next is throwaway prototyping. It is used to reduce requirement risk. The prototype is developed from an initial specification, delivered for experimentation, then discarded. Now all your requirements are ready, and now you decide which language you are going to use, which tool you are going to use, what specialist you need, what database you are going to use, what platform, everything you decide. Then as your requirements are fully ready, now with the best tools, best platform, best language, you start developing your software with any of your software development model, waterfall model, spiral model, incremental model, whatever you want, you can do it. So that is an advantage of throwaway prototyping. So here there is no specification for long-term maintenance, some system characters may have been left out. So all those issues will not be there in your throwaway prototyping. So the only issue is delivery will be delayed. So there would be pressure from the people that to deliver the system quick in case of throwaway prototype, because the whole prototype is developed, then it is thrown away, then you start from your scrap. So this is not recommended when the requirements are very simple, when the project is so a simple project which is not safety critical, and also where you need your project very quick, then you need not go for this throwaway prototyping. It is better to go for evolutionary prototyping. So but where quality standards are needed, they go for this throwaway prototyping, but definitely it is a time consuming task. So it is increase in speed of delivery of the prototype. Okay, that is one important thing. So developers can concentrate heavily on eliciting requirements from the clients rather than the actual software development. Okay. So these are the two things through prototyping aspects. One is evolutionary prototyping and another one is throwaway prototyping. In both the things, you are developing a prototype, a small working software. But what happens is, in evolutionary prototyping, the same prototype is redefined again and again to have your final software. In throwaway prototyping, the prototype which you have developed is used for collecting your requirements or avoiding errors in your requirements or missing requirements. After all requirements are gathered, you throw away the prototype and you have your full-fledged requirements. If your requirements are full-fledged, by using any software development model, you could develop your software without errors. But both has its own advantages and disadvantages. I think you are very clear with the prototyping model of software engineering. In the next video, we'll see some interesting topic on other software development models. Thank you. Have a good day.